Good morning. What?
Nothing.
It's actually nighttime right now, but we plan on uploading our vlogs in the morning. So good morning.
This is our second go at this, because last time just fell apart.
We kind of started ranting about like
Pokemon and boxes.
And boxes and how to wrap birthday presents.
And how not to.
Yeah. So we're actually going to try and make a serious video. It is currently Tuesday, November 13th.
Yep.
2018.
We may upload that random video someday. We'll see.
Just for the hell of it.
An outtakes video. Maybe a double video day.
Yeah, kind of like a, this is what happens when we're in a good mood.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about Social Security Disability or SSDI. Yeah. Social Security Disability Income. And the honest-to-God nightmare that the government puts you through to get it.
Well, we can talk about the nightmare later, but
yeah,
I'm going to justify why mentally ill people should be able to get disability. Because I have had people in the past who have given me crap because I get disability even though I don't have a physical disability. A mental illness is just like any other illness. You can have heart disease in your heart, you can have asthma in your lungs, you can have diabetes in your pancreas. Your brain is an organ just like any other organ in your body, and it can get sick too. Now, one of the main reasons why mentally ill people do qualify for disability is because basically we can have an episode any day, any time with no warning.
Yep.
And no employer wants to hire somebody who's going to be calling in sick that often or that unpredictably. Predictably. I said it right?
Yeah.
Okay. I said it right. Ah! And another reason is there are certain mental illnesses that can make a person homebound. For a long time, I had very severe agoraphobia. Agoraphobia, I think I've explained it before, but if you're new, or you don't know what it is anyway, basically it's a fear of people, public, crowded spaces, and basically the only time I would ever leave the apartment that I was living in when I had it was when my ex-husband and I would go out grocery shopping, and we usually did our grocery shopping at a 24-hour place in the very, very early morning, like 2 or 3 a.m., because that's when the store was the most empty, because if it was crowded at all, I would panic. There have been times where we did go during a crowded time, and for example, there was one time that there were so many people in the aisle that I was in, it triggered voices with my schizophrenia, the stress did, and I ended up sitting on the floor in a fetal position, and my ex-husband was in another aisle, and one of the Walmart employees actually had to go find him to come and get me because I was that sick. Anyway, agoraphobia, social anxiety disorder, all sorts of disorders make it hard for a person to leave the house. And if you can't leave the house, it's really hard to get a job.
Yeah.
And if you do manage to get a job, you can call in sick with a cold. I got a cold, I have the flu, I have a migraine, I have this, I have that. And your employer will be like, okay, stay home, get well, whatever. Yep. Unfortunately, there's still enough stigma with mental illness, and if I were to call an employer and say, hey, I'm too depressed to come to work today, they would tell me to grow a pair, suck it up, and get in here, or I'm fired.
Yep.
It has happened to me. I have been down that road. My mental illness has contributed to me losing jobs before. I remember when I applied for disability, it was per the suggestion of my psychiatrist at the time. that I applied for disability. I didn't even think that I'd be able to get disability for being mentally ill until she told me. And so, why are you on disability?
I have effectively compounding issues for the reason I'm on disability. One is, I'm not going to lie, my weight is one of them.
Do you want to tell them how heavy you are?
No.
No, okay. Maybe some other time.
Yes, some other time we'll go there, but...
We'll do a video about that.
That'll be a private video.
We'll do a video about eating disorders, because we both have experience there.
And then compounding that issue is my knees are really bad because of arthritis, which is part of the weight issue. But my family has really bad genetics for knees. I think that can happen.
Yeah, arthritis can be inherited.
Yeah, my family's got arthritis up and down the bloodline.
Mine too.
So that doesn't help. And then the mental illness just makes it worse. Like, I went from being homeless to living in a one-bedroom apartment alone for almost 3 years to falling apart and actually getting to the point where I couldn't walk because of too much stress causing, what was that disorder called?
Conversion disorder.
Conversion disorder. We'll go into that disorder later.
Conversion disorder later. Because it's kind of long and complicated.
Yeah. I ended up in a nursing home for a year and a half. A year and 3 months. Yeah, a year and 3 months to be exact. Trying to rehabilitate, getting back to walking. And the only reason I'm not there now is because, one, I got back to walking to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
And then also because I got my disability, or I got approved for disability after 4 years of trying.
Yeah, we'll go over that in a minute.
Yeah. It was a long period of time. I will tell you, from the age of 28 to 30, being a nurse in a nursing home, it sucks. Part of my language, but it sucks. I don't wish that on anyone. I'm sure there's better nursing homes than what I was in, but it sucks because they don't have stuff for young people.
Mm-mm. They're not made for young people.
No, so being in a nursing home with a bunch of 80 and 90-year-olds that are all... Yeah, let's just finish that subject. Anyways.
But basically, mental illness is what led to the eating disorder, which is what led to the obesity, which is what led to the arthritis, which led to even more mental illness because it screwed with your self-esteem on top of everything else that you already had going on. So that's how mental illness impacted your status of being on disability.
Yeah. It actually, during my second, not interview.
Okay, let me go through the routine real quick.
Yep.
Very rarely will you be approved for disability on your first application. The order I went in, I applied with a note from my psychiatrist, and I was denied anyway. So I appealed the decision. They went over my records again, talked to my doctors again, and I saw a doctor that they hired, and that I'm not going into that, because he was, so I appealed, and they denied me again, and then I had to get a lawyer, and a disability lawyer, and me and the disability lawyer actually took the government to court to get me on disability. And the judge, I remember the judge was looking at all my paperwork, and there were some defense lawyers for vocational defense lawyers to tell the judge what I could and could not do for a living. And he asked me a couple of questions like, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? And I had really good reasons for all of them. And so he listened to me, and he looked at my paperwork, and he looked at my medical records, and he just said, why did you deny this woman disability? She obviously is qualified. That's how I got disability. The whole process took me about 3.5 years because the government is really slow on paperwork.
Yeah.
It's like they expect you to get all those forms in lickety-split, but when it comes to being their turn to get stuff back to you, they take their time.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and tell them about your timeline.
I originally applied in 2011.
They don't need yours.
Okay, good point. Needless to say, I applied, got denied, appealed, went to court, got denied in court again, or denied in court.
Because the judge said that he had no physical evidence of having hallucinations of voices.
Literally, not joking, he actually said that.
That's what he said. It's like, you can't physically, there's no way to do that other than talking to your doctor. You know?
And they had all my paperwork.
It's not like you can take a blood test and find hallucinations in your blood.
I had gone through, the place I was going for all my mental illness stuff had repetitively gone through a lot of therapists and a lot of psychiatrists. I went through 3 psychiatrists in 2 years and upwards of 4 or 5 therapists because they were all interns. And I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they were students and learning.
Anyways.
When you don't have good health insurance and you don't have a job, you kind of get stuck with that.
Yeah, I was on Medicaid, so I kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
Especially in Pennsylvania, because just Pennsylvania's Medicaid sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I talked to my lawyer I had when we went to the court about what to do on the next stage, and she gave me the option of reapplying and going through the whole process again, or taking it to
the next level of court.
To the next level of court, which is federal court.
Mm-hmm.
They said federal court would be another 3 years, if not longer. I was like...
Yeah, waiting for a court date when you're doing a disability hearing is pretty mind-numbing.
Yeah, well, especially...
It takes forever.
Especially when you're going to the federal level.
Yeah.
Because then
they're just so behind on their paperwork, those poor people. Yeah. And see, a lot of this problem comes from disability insurance fraud.
Yep.
People lie and try to get disability. And I want to say one thing. I miss working. I did work.
Me too.
I did work for a long time. And when you have to go on disability legitimately, nothing humbles you faster than basically being told that you're useless, so we're just going to give you as much money as we can afford to give you to live on. That's basically what you're told. You're useless. You can't work. Here, have some money. Just stay out of our way. So disability is not the easy life. We're not like, rolling in the dough and, having a grand old time every day. It's not like that. We get enough money to live on. We pay rent. We pay our bills. We do have a couple of extra things here and there. We do have phones. We have, he has an Xbox, and I can afford my art supplies. But after that, by the end of every month, we're done. We're broke at the end of every month. And they only pay you once a month, so that makes budgeting a little difficult sometimes.
Yep. Let's just put it this way. We're not going to go into exact amounts on how much we get. But if we were...
I don't know how much I get.
I know how much you get, and I know how much I get.
I never remember how much I get.
But, to put it easily, if we worked a 40-hour work week, we'd get like $5.75 an hour.
If that.
No, that's about what we'd get.
Yeah. So
that's not even
minimum wage.
We're like almost $2 under minimum wage.
Yeah.
To survive for a month.
Yeah.
The only reason we even come close to getting by is because we're together.
Because we live together. We only have one bill. We only have one rent, one electric bill, one phone bill.
One cable bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we were separated and single, but he'd probably still be in the nursing home.
I would be.
And I would be probably living with my mother. Because for a long time, when I was married, we lived... either me and my husband would live in an apartment, or sometimes he had lost his job a couple of times and we lived with his mom. When we got separated, because he couldn't handle my schizophrenia anymore. Which I told him he was very lucky that he had that choice, because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get to wake up in the morning and go, oh, I'm not going to hear voices today. I don't have time to hear voices today. It's not an option for me. But it was for him. So, great. Anyway, when we separated, there was no way I was going to be able to afford a place on my own just on my disability. And I obviously couldn't get a job because, well, I was disabled. So I had to move in with my parents. And yeah, I was 20-something years old and still living, 30-something years old and living with my parents. So,
yep.
Luckily, we found each other.
Yep.
And I got you out of that nursing home.
Yeah. And I moved to Iowa from Pennsylvania, from the easternmost part of Pennsylvania, literally on the New Jersey border. The border was on the other side of the road from the nursing home.
Mm-hmm. You could look out some of the windows and see a different state.
Yeah, literally, because you could actually literally do that.
I know, I'm being literal.
It was ridiculous. So yeah, we've been down the long road.
Now, this is not us begging for money.
No, oh no.
We're not saying, oh, pity us, we don't have any money. We make it. We have our cat, we have, we have food in our kitchen, we have a roof over our head.
Yep.
I am grateful for the fact that I do have the option of having disability.
Yeah.
Because if it weren't for them, I'd probably be that crazy old lady in the alleyway talking to buildings.
Yep. And
I wouldn't be able to afford any of my medical care. I wouldn't be able to afford any medications. I wouldn't be able to afford food, rent, bills, essentials, or nothing. None of it.
Yeah,
on my own.
If it weren't for Medicaid, yes, we have Medicare, but Medicare...
Even Medicare has a premium.
Medicare has a premium. Medicare has so much per month. You have to pay so much of your doctor bills. You have to pay so much of your medication.
Just like almost any other health insurance.
Yeah. If we didn't have what we have with having Medicaid on top of our Medicare... We
still wouldn't be able to afford the medical bills.
We wouldn't even be able to afford our medicine.
No, I know.
We'd be paying hundreds of dollars, and it would be literally more than we get.
Yeah. One of my medications, if I paid full price for, would be more than I get every month from disability. If that gives you any idea of how little you actually do get with disability. Disability is not a free ride. It is not... I'm too lazy, I don't want to get a job, I'm going to make something up and the government will pay me. It's not like that. There are people who attempt that, and that's why people like him and I get screwed when we get denied, and then I had to pay a lawyer and go to court. And so that is our defense on why we think and agree that mentally ill people should qualify for disability.
Yep.
And, that's pretty much... That's pretty much what I've told people who have given me crap about being on disability.
I've gotten plenty of crow for it, too.
Yeah, they get well, you can walk, and you can talk, and you can do things, and you can wake up, and you can leave the apartment, and you can do this and that, and I'm like, well, actually, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work like that. Now, personally, my agoraphobia has gotten a lot better over the years.
I will agree with that.
Yeah, it has gotten a lot better over the years. I still have issues. Like, I'd love to do the Walmart pickup. I think I've told you guys about that. Where you place your order online and then you go and they bring it out to your car. So that way I don't have to step foot in a grocery store at Walmart. They do it all for me, which I think is really awesome.
Because as we all know, every Walmart is nuts, like 24/7.
Yeah, it's very crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I still don't do well with crowds. I still can't ride a public bus.
I couldn't either. I tried and I'm like, no.
Emotionally or physically?
I could do it physically. Mentally, I'm like, no.
Yeah, see, that's the same here.
Because, honestly, I was scared of Lebanon, so, yeah.
Well, I witnessed a gang fight on the back of a public bus when I lived in Illinois, and that was fun. I was just like, and it was... Well, I wouldn't say it was funny, but it was ironic because I was in one of the front seats of the bus and I had headphones on listening to music because music is one of my coping mechanisms when I'm out in public because it drowns out everybody around me. And the fight was going on in the back of the bus and I didn't even know anything was going on until the bus skidded to a halt and cops just surrounded the bus and I had to give a statement and it was a whole bunch of gang members against one kid. And yeah.
Yep.
The kid turned out okay that day. He was a little bruised up and probably a lot more scared than he was physically hurt, but yeah, ever since then it was really hard for me to get on a public bus. And I can't drive because of my eyes, so I'm pretty much screwed when it comes to transportation.
And I've got compounding issues. I've got eye issues myself that are...
Yeah. His eyes are worse than mine, and mine are really bad.
Yeah.
My vision, the last time I was told, my vision was 2400.
I don't know what mine was.
Well, you also have that eye that goes off the wrong...
Well, both my eyes do that.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Anyways, I think we should call this video for the night. We're over 20 minutes already.
Yeah. If you have any arguments about mental illness getting disability, or if you have any questions about it, leave them in the comments below. We'd be happy to help you out, talk to you. If you're in the process or thinking about starting the process of disability and you have questions, we'll try to help you out. We're not lawyers.
Nope.
We just know what we went through.
Yep.
And so, alright, so I guess we will call it a night, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yep.
Have a good week, and
enjoy life.
Yay life!